Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this afternoon, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, the recently released from Twitter jail, a free man to tweet as he wishes, once again, within the confines of Twitter rules, my brother Alex. Alex, how are you?
Glad to be free.
Is it good to be a free man? How does it feel?
I don't know if I'm really that free though. I
You're
feel like Twitter is just waiting to pounce on me as soon as I make the wrong move.
Well, look, if you don't check in with your probation officer, you're not allowed to carry a weapon, get high, things like that. You got to stay within the laws.
Yeah, it should be good, right?
If you can manage that, you should stay out of Twitter jail.
I'm just waiting for Twitter to, put me back in there, man. Is there anything more scarier as a dad or a parent than your 9-year-old asking you a question?
Of the opposite sex, yes. Right? So, like, for us dads, when your daughter comes and asks you a question, scary as fuck.
So,
when you're a mom, when your son comes to ask you a question, scary as fuck.
So, I'm on my way here with Brooklyn, right? As you can see, I brought her.
Right.
And we get in the car, and we don't even get to, like, the first traffic light. And she asks me, I'm going to ask you a question that I haven't asked you before. And I'm like, oh my God. So my mind now is racing faster than what she can possibly ask me the question, right?
So you're trying to come up with the right sex
Yeah,
talk,
exactly.
everything.
So I'm thinking, I'm
I'm
thinking, I don't know where I'm trying to think real fast what kind of question she could
I'm
she could throw
petrified at this point.
And so I'm like, is she going to give me the question right away, or is she going to set me up, right? And she's like, is Eric going to be there? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sure he is. And then she's like, well, maybe he's got baseball practice. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't think so because we're doing the pod. And so she's like, I want to play the Wii with Eric. And I'm like, well, just ask him. And he's like, well, and she said, well, the last couple of times he's been kind of grouchy. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, could be, but I'm like, just ask him, I mean, it's worth a shot. And she's like, and then she asked me, you think he hit puberty?
Oh my God.
And I damn near crashed. I swear, bro. And I'm like, possibly? I'm like, what do you say? I have no idea. Like,
did she explain to you what she meant by puberty?
No, I didn't want to ask. I don't want an explanation. I don't want to know how you got the word. Nothing. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know right now. I didn't know then. So yeah, that was my ride here.
Holy that's incredible.
I'm like,
I
mean, that could be if he's grouchy. It could be. I mean, but I don't know how to answer that question.
I'm still going through puberty because I'm still grouchy all the time. Just kidding, folks.
Yeah, so that was kind of scary.
Yeah, that would that would scare the crap out of me too. Like, how do you answer that?
Yeah, right? Well, I was not expecting that at all. So there goes our non-sports segment of the day.
Good grief! I don't even know where to. I know what we want to talk about, right? We want to talk about sports, but I don't know where I want to go first. So that's just. Speaking of puberty.
Oh God! Great. Look what I started.
It feels like the Rockets are going through puberty, right? They've hit this growth. You like that segue?
Yeah, that's good.
So we're going right into the NBA because we haven't talked.
Well, James Harden definitely has hit puberty because that beard,
and then some, right? So into the NBA we go. The Rockets started off slow.
Very.
Looked infantile in those first 10, 15 games. Have really turned it around and are looking like a team to contend with, mainly on the back of just an incredible run of scoring by James Harden.
Yeah.
The question is, have they matured into the playoff team that we think they can be? Do you think they have?
No. As great as Harden has been, I mean, he seriously could be MVP as of now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for what he's done. And the reason why I think he deserves to be in the MVP talk right now is I mean, the rest of the team is a big question mark, I think. You got Capella out. Chris Paul, I think, is coming back tonight. PJ Tucker has been the only other bright spot, really, on that team. I don't think they have a complete team to really compete.
You know, as much as I like the Rockets, and I was high on them before the season started, I didn't expect them to win as much as they did last year for obvious reasons. Last year was, I thought, a record-setting year for them. The fact that Chris Paul has been out for so long, and maybe I'm overstating this because Chris Paul is a veteran, and you know he should be able to relatively seamlessly get back into the groove of things with Harden. But I think it's going to take him time to gel again. And you brought it up, and I think it's a very good point about this Rockets team. They're going to miss Capella. Capella is a big plus for that team. He crashes the boards well. He's one of the few guys that plays defense on that team. You know, they're going to miss him, and he's out for, I think, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So he's got another 5 weeks to go.
About.
So that puts us at the end of February, maybe first week of March. Right? No, it puts us into the middle of March. February was a short month. So
is that enough time to really get back in?
Right. I mean, the playoffs start shortly, you know, at the end of April. That's a tough go for that team.
And Chris Paul.
My point is, they're still going through puberty.
Yeah. Yeah. And Chris Paul, you know, he's like, what, 34 years old? I mean, you don't know how healthy he's going to come back. Not a young guy. You don't know how healthy he's going to really come back.
Yeah, you have to wonder if he's even going to be able to go, right? I mean, not is he going to be able to go? He's going to be able to go, but at what point is he going to just break down again and have another injury, a hamstring or a quad or whatever?
Yeah, well, it looks like they'll be in the puberty stages all year long.
That's a great
segue. So since we are talking NBA, because we haven't talked any NBA up until now.
The football playoffs just kind of ate us up, right?
What's been your biggest surprise or disappointment? Either or.
I'll go disappointment. I really thought the Timberwolves were going to be better than they are, and I actually thought getting rid of Jimmy Butler. Well, I take it back. Before the whole Jimmy Butler saga, I thought they were an up and coming team, and now, you know, they got rid of Butler, which I think was the right thing to do, but, you know, it sets the team back, but I think it would have set the team further back had he still been there. And then they fired their coach, which I don't really understand why what he was getting out of Rose is more than anyone's ever gotten out of not ever, but it's since he's been injured.
Right.
I mean, he's by far been the best version of Derrick Rose we've seen. And yet they went and they fired him. And so now the team is, in my opinion, in complete disarray. You really don't even know if Karl Anthony Towns wants to be there or not. I feel like he could be as good as maybe an Anthony Davis. But with all the turmoil, who knows? And Wiggins, to me, is still not quite the piece that needs to be there.
He's probably been the biggest disappointment.
Yeah, well, he's been a disappointment.
Or one of the biggest disappointments.
Yeah, he's been a disappointment throughout. Really.
So,
how about you? Surprise, disappointment? Go disappointment. So we do disappointments first.
Disappointed. I'll probably say, man, I don't know. I can't think of it. I can't think of one. I'm kind of stuck there. I'll give you a surprise. I mean, my surprise has been the Nets.
Oh yeah.
You know, they've had a bunch of injuries this season. They don't have this star player, but all of a sudden D'Angelo Russell's kind of emerged as a star player.
Yeah.
They got a young center, Jared Allen, who's playing great defense. He's only like 20 years old, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's putting up pretty decent numbers. Dinwiddie's playing good. The other point guard for the Nets. I mean, they have to be the biggest surprise in the league. I think they're just 4 games behind the Celtics, who are
they're
in the 4th
spot
or the 5 spot.
The 5 spot. Yeah, they're in the 6th spot right now, which is not bad because that means they avoid the Sixers and the Celtics the way things stand right now. There's a lot of basketball to play. Things will move around, so we don't know. And they've played. The thing I like about the Nets, they're beating the teams they should beat. So when the Atlanta Hawks come to town, they beat the brakes off of them. But then they're stealing a few wins here and there against good teams.
Yeah.
So that's usually a good recipe for a team for their season. My big surprise is the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets are I have two. I'm gonna take two because it's my show and I want to. The Denver Nuggets have been a surprise. They're playing good basketball. The Sixers just came to town over the weekend and they beat the brakes off the Sixers.
They did.
They're a good team. Right now they're the 2 seed. Only a game and a half behind the Warriors, and the Warriors have won 10 in a row. So it's not like the Warriors have won 10 in a row and they still haven't run away from Denver. My other surprise, and this one isn't as big of a surprise, but that kid down in Dallas. I know he's a rookie, but my goodness, Doncic is that kid is for real.
I mean, he's the size of him. How he's doing it all.
He's the next Dirk Nowitzki, right? I mean, that maybe a little bit faster, a little bit more able to post up or drive the lane.
I wouldn't go there yet. He still has his sophomore season coming up.
But
he's looking the part.
When you think of who to compare him to, I mean, big guy who can shoot. I mean, he can shoot from anywhere. I really hope they figure out the situation with Smith, the guard, right? Dennis Smith.
Sounds like he's out of there. Yeah, Dennis Smith.
He came back. Well, he's been hurt and he was supposed to come back and didn't come back, and so there's been a little back and forth, and there's rumblings that he's not happy about the offense not being his, being that they've kind of handed it over to Doncic. But if he decides to come in and be a part of the show, that's a good one too for a young team.
Yeah.
I know the NBA these days you got to have 3, or if you're the Warriors you get 5. But you got to have 2 before you can have 3.
If I was Dennis Smith, I would just suck it up because I understand where he's coming from, because last year he was kind of the guy there, right? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you got this rookie that comes in and now he's the guy. I mean, if we can just meet in the middle somewhere and find a way to play together, that could be a good up and coming team for maybe next season or the season after.
Right. I mean, if you look at them, really they look a lot like, dare I say, Kyrie Irving and LeBron James in Cleveland, and with not as big a gap, because I don't think the gap, certainly in experience and just leadership in general, is as big between Doncic and Smith as it was between James and Irving. Remember, LeBron James, very, very well established, clearly the best player on the planet. Kyrie Irving, very good, but young, kind of had to, defer to LeBron a lot. This is a situation where both of them, if they work together and put their heads together, they could kind of be co-pilots on this Dallas Mavericks train.
Denver Mavericks.
A little relocation happened.
Little meshing,
right? I'm talking about working together, man. Just like you and me.
That's right.
Positive Sports Podcast. We work together.
Exactly. Ugly, handsome. We work together.
Yin and yang. Absolutely.
So speaking of Kyrie Irving, now that you brought him up, as great as he's been playing, because he's really been playing awesome basketball, I'm disappointed in him. I'm disappointed because he felt the need to apologize to his teammates. I don't like that he apologized. I don't think he...
About what?
About, I think a week or 2 ago, I guess there was a play drawn up late in the game and, it wasn't executed properly, so they lost the game. It was a close game, maybe against Dallas or Memphis, I can't remember, and he kind of called out his teammates. I mean, and then 2 weeks later, or not 2 weeks later, I'm sorry, then came out after that he and LeBron spoke over the phone, whatever. I don't care about that because I have no proof of that. But then he actually went on and apologized for, calling out his teammates. And I'm like, there's no need to apologize.
Do you want to lead or do you not want to lead?
That's it. That's why you left in the first place.
Yeah,
right?
You want to lead a team. That team has been a bit of a disappointment. I still think I'm going to get roasted for this. I still think that's the best team in the East.
I agree.
I still think that's the best team in the East.
Did you watch?
And I still think that the Sixers are the second best team in the East. They're also the first in terms of most confusing. But I still think talent for talent, I think the Celtics are 1, the Sixers are 2, and the Raptors and Bucks are tied for 3rd. I don't think the difference is humongous.
Right.
But that's the way I would slot them right now.
Okay.
So the Celtics have been, obviously if they're the 5 seed and I think they're the most talented, they've been a bit of a disappointment to me. They're still trying to find their way. It's amazing how a good run last season without their 2 stars or without their 2 biggest names takes adjusting to when they come back. I find that very incredible, but it's very much a problem, and it's a problem on the defensive end. They don't seem to know what they're doing defensively. They can't figure out how they want to defend the other team's key players, and it hurts them. It hurts them, and it hurts them at the end of games.
Yeah.
They got to figure that out. Otherwise, it's going to be another disappointment. Another disappointing season. English is really hard.
It is. Yes.
Another disappointing season for the Celtics come playoff time.
Well, they played the Warriors tough Saturday night, so they gave us a pretty good game. I think the Celtics are. They need a big man, but I don't know that necessarily means going and trading for Anthony Davis.
But that would be nice.
It would be, but you're just going to be subtracting or addition by subtracting.
Then again, there's going to be 28 other teams that think that would be nice as well.
So
they have some work to do. And then staying in the East, I mean, can someone give me the instruction manual to the 76ers? What is going on there? There's a lot of talent. When Embiid and what's his face?
Ben Simmons.
Simmons, right? I can't believe I just blanked on that. But when Embiid and Simmons are on, they look unstoppable. I mean, they look unstoppable. And then there are times where, who are these guys? What are they doing? I don't understand it.
They're missing Markelle Fultz. I'm just kidding.
I mean, that might.
You know what the Sixers really need to do is trade Ben Simmons. And that's probably not the most popular take.
For who?
For someone that can shoot. Yes, you have Jimmy Butler. I mean, you can get another point guard.
Oh my God, I forgot about Jimmy Butler. That's another problem there. In my opinion, that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, but the fact that Ben Simmons can't shoot the ball at all, I think poses problems for them late in games. It's an option. It's another option that is nice to have. I mean, you can go out there and get another point guard that is probably not going to be as good as passing as Ben Simmons for a 6'10" guy, but I mean, you can get another point guard, that can shoot the ball.
I guess.
But Embiid is a beast. He's I'd say the best center in the game right now. I mean, he's that good. He's having a great season.
He is having a great season. I don't know that he's better than Anthony Davis. I wouldn't. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't.
Forward.
I wouldn't kick either one of them out.
He's a power forward.
Anthony Davis.
I think they have him listed as power forward. He's a power forward.
He's a center. He's a center.
Not officially.
He's a center. But yeah, he's having a great season. I think I would rather have Anthony Davis than Joel Embiid if I had my choice. But if I got stuck with Joel Embiid, I think I'd be okay.
Yeah.
He's having a great season. I think he's going to be a great player. The other guy who's been a disappointment is DeAndre Ayton down in Phoenix. He's done nothing.
I have no idea what he started off kind of hot, I think, because I remember seeing his name in box scores, but other than that, I don't.
Does he still play for the Suns?
I don't. What are the Suns doing anyway? They have a mess. They're one of the hottest mess teams.
What is wrong with them though? Because they've got players that are talented.
They got a decent young team.
Yeah, but they play like trash.
I don't think they have a sense of direction. I mean, I'm talking like coach and
Yeah, I guess
front office and all that.
I guess. I mean, they are the worst team in the West.
I'll give you
at 11-40.
Real quick, I'll give you my biggest disappointment and surprise at the same time.
Okay,
it's the same team.
Go ahead.
The Thunder.
Disappointed with the Thunder?
Russell Westbrook. He hasn't been himself so far this season. Don't get me wrong, he's putting up the numbers. His stats look very good, but he hasn't been shooting the ball very well.
No, he hasn't, but he still is leading his team to a 30-18 record, 3 seed in the West. And I think that's pretty good.
But they've been a surprise at the same time because
I'm more surprised than disappointed with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. Russell Westbrook is not having the same caliber season he had last year or the year before. But I also think he's kind of changed his game a little bit. He's allowing Paul George to be a more central figure in the offense. And I think he's working hard to get everyone involved and to have the entire team, be good and shoot better and make better selection of shots and whatnot. And so I think he's sacrificing himself a little bit for the good of the team, and it's showing because at 30-18, to me, that's a bit of a surprise for them.
And Paul George is playing
lights out.
Yeah, he's playing really good basketball.
That guy.
He is.
He is playing good basketball. The Warriors started off kind of iffy. Curry got hurt for a while, but then all of a sudden,
what did they start doing? Playing
chess,
not checkers.
That's right. Boogie Cousins came into the lineup, and all of a sudden, man, we've forgotten all the drama about
That's
Green
right.
and KD.
I'll tell you what, he's been a little bit of a surprise. I know he's only played like
4 games,
but he's out there making some no-look passes, running the ball, like, you know what I'm saying, fast breaks. I mean, he
really looks like he's having fun.
He's a little, he needs to get in shape a little more, play in shape, but he doesn't look that rusty at all.
No, not at all. I was surprised.
Yeah.
And the injury he came off of, an Achilles injury, was a pretty serious injury.
Yeah.
He has looked good. My problem with the whole Boogie Cousins thing is, when it goes south, it's gonna go south fast and hard, because you can't have
south. What do you mean? Like they start losing games, or they just
they're gonna implode.
Kaboom!
They're gonna implode.
So you're talking about locker room?
Yeah. Look, we had the dust up earlier this year between Green and KD.
Yeah.
I think KD can be a little bit of a hothead. Draymond Green very obviously can be a hothead.
No.
And then adding another potential head case in there, it's a little scary. Like, if they make it through this season and just kind of smooth on through the West and win the championship, you got to really take your hat off to Steve Kerr.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He is the man with the iron, because he can unwrinkle it all. The guy's played with Dennis Rodman. Okay? So he knows how to handle a head case.
True.
Maybe not 3, but Steve Kerr, I don't think sometimes he gets the credit that he deserves. I understand they have the 5 All-Stars. I totally understand that. But it's Steve Kerr's job to make changes, call timeouts, change lineups.
It seems to me that his role as manager is more important than his role as coach. I feel like X's and O's, he can be average. Where he needs to be above average is manager. What I mean by manager is managing people.
Yeah.
And he's managing those 12 guys in the locker room. So, but he's done a masterful job before, and I think obviously it's a new wrinkle now to have Boogie Cousins in there. But if anyone can handle it, I think Steve Kerr can. Yeah. Speaking of which, speaking of coaches handling their stars, we're finally starting to get some drama in L.A. LeBron's been hurt for a while, and so it's been a little bit quiet. But now it's starting to come out that he doesn't like Luke Walton, or he doesn't want Luke Walton.
Get the out of here.
He doesn't like him, or doesn't like his coaching style. Blah blah blah. Which, look,
it's amazing.
If he didn't respect Blatt. He respected Tyronn Lue because that was his buddy. He didn't respect the other guy,
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown, who I think is a very good coach.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time, in my opinion, before this happened. And here we are.
It's happened. I mean, he's ready to get somebody fired.
I mean,
I got a feeling this is the time of the year, also, right?
Oh,
that this starts
it's always right before the All-Star break.
It's amazing. I mean, I don't get it.
The dude's not even playing.
Maybe this is a way to, because LeBron still has 3 more years left in LA. Okay, he's gonna be in LA. All right. Maybe this is a way for him to get Walton to make a move, go to Magic Johnson and say, "Hey, let's freaking make a trade." Like, to him initiate that, you know?
Maybe. They need another piece. They don't have anything really to. I mean, Kyle Kuzma, may develop into that guy, but they really don't have anything to complement LeBron at this point. I mean, Rajon Rondo, Ingram.
I don't. Ingram. Ball is not that. He's not having a bad season.
He's not having a good season. Look.
I've watched some of the Lakers.
I am out of the Lonzo Ball sweepstakes. I'm out. I'm ready to sell. I'm out.
Ready to sell?
I don't think he's a good player. He's not going to be. Look, how do you succeed in the NBA? 3 stars and a good bench.
Yeah.
He is not going to be one of those 3 stars, and I don't even know if he's going to be that good coming off the bench.
I've watched some of the Lakers game. I mean, he's surprised me in some games.
I mean, I've watched it too, and you see some glimmer, but
no, I know he's definitely not that guy, right?
No, definitely
bench player, 6-man, possibly. They need to make a move.
They do because LeBron's not.
Well, LeBron needs to make a move.
LeBron's not
GM. No, I'm talking about GM LeBron.
I guess. The other nice surprise, man, we've been going back and forth.
There's a lot of surprise. Every team's a surprise.
I'm surprised they're even playing basketball this year.
Surprise, bitches!
Basketball. Who plays basketball anymore? What the hell is this game? Not a great surprise, but best record in the East. So that to me is a surprise because I didn't expect them there, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks.
No.
The Greek Freak. Is there a more entertaining guy to watch in the NBA right now than the Greek Freak?
Is there a more flashier, under the radar guy?
I don't think he's under the radar anymore.
It feels like he is.
You think do
Yeah, he doesn't.
I mean, do you watch ESPN? Have you ever seen Bucks highlights? They're all about the Greek Freak. But no one else. If you watch ESPN, you would think every single night it's Denver 103, the Greek Freak 101.
I haven't noticed. To be honest. And the Bucks haven't even been on primetime that much.
Yeah, no, they haven't been on a whole lot.
I think the Sixers have been on more than they have.
The Sixers have been on a lot,
quite a bit, yeah.
But Philadelphia's a bigger market, I guess, than Milwaukee.
Yeah, and see, and the Bucks are another team. I don't know if they have enough. I mean, I can't. I'm sorry, Milwaukee. I can't name another player on that team. Eric Bledsoe. Chris Middleton, is he on that?
Bledsoe's playing good ball. He's been kind of the Robin to the Greek Freak's Batman. I think they're an excellent team. They don't have the best record in the East for nothing. Well, part of it may be the falterings of other teams like the Celtics and the Sixers, but I think they're going to give people a run for their money. Now, are they going to be good enough to hang in a 7-game series with against a veteran like Kyrie Irving and the Celtics? I don't think so, personally. Are they going to be able to handle the talent of the Sixers? I don't think so.
Can they beat the Raptors?
Yeah. If they have home court advantage, yes, because the Raptors are horrible on the road. It's a completely different basketball team.
Can they beat the Pacers?
Well, Oladipo's out for the year, so I'm kind of writing off the Pacers.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to do that, but the fact of the matter is, Oladipo is very much the engine that makes that team go, and he's gone for the year. I didn't think they were a great team to begin with.
But even when he missed a couple games early in the year, they still had a winning record. I mean, they were. Yeah, but I think they were formidable.
I think now that he's gone, I don't hold out much hope for Indiana. That's
so
just me.
Indiana's what, in 4th?
No, they're 3.
They're 3. Okay, so
Sixers 4, Celtics 5, Brooklyn 6. The Heat The Heat at 7 and Charlotte at 8.
They've been kind of a surprise.
Charlotte, yeah. Kemba Walker's having a monster year.
The Pacers, and for all the Pacers fans, whatever Pacers fan listen to us.
Oh, we've got a ton of them. We're big in Indiana.
We are? Oh, yeah, you're right. We checked the stats the other day.
Yes, we're huge in Indiana.
You're the 3 seed. Your star player you already know is out for the season. Do you buy or do you buy at the trade deadline? I mean, do you buy or sell?
You know, I think theoretically you buy, right? Because you are the 3 seed. But in the NBA, it doesn't feel like there's really that much of a
buyer's market.
There don't seem to be blockbuster trades at the trade deadline in the NBA. Maybe that's just my perception, but I can't think of a big blockbuster trade at the deadline. That seems to be the NBA seems to live and die by free agency in the off season.
But what I'm saying is, I mean, if you're the GM of the Pacers, you can't lose grip of this thing, right?
No, I agree with you. You're sitting at 3,
especially at this point. I mean, we're in January now. We only have 3 full months left.
Yeah, I mean, you've played more than half the season now.
Right. Do you go out there and you sacrifice a couple future picks?
If you can get an impact player, I think you do it. If you're the Pacers, and really, you got to do the shopping. The thing that sucks for them is everyone knows they're on the tightrope, right? So people are going to try to fleece them.
Yeah,
it's tough. And then just one thing I want to say, and I probably won't say it again for the rest of the time we talk about the NBA.
Uh-oh.
What the fuck are the Knicks doing?
Dude, come on, man. You know what they're doing. You know what they're doing.
Again?
What is it?
Losing.
Don't call it losing. It's called tanking.
You think they're doing that on purpose?
They're losing to win.
What are they
down the line?
What are they calling it this year?
Tank for Zion? I don't know.
You know, they've always, like when Andrew Luck was coming out of college, it was like suck for luck.
I know. What do you call it now?
I don't know. But I've heard a phrase, and I don't know what it is, though. Zion's not going to be enough for that team.
That what? He's not going to what?
He's not going to be enough to make them respectable.
Oh, no. They need a whole lot more.
I mean, if they got Zion and then got a couple of forwards and a couple of guards, I think they'd be pretty good.
You think they'd be pretty good? I mean, I don't know what the hell they're doing.
It is so frustrating.
I don't know.
It's terrible. It's such a...
There's really no explanation.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
James Dolan just needs to sell the team. That guy's been an issue with that.
He's not. Something's not.
There's no consistency there.
Something's not.
Different coaches.
Something's not right with that team organizationally. I agree with you. There's an organization problem there.
I mean, we'll leave the NBA on this note. The New York Knicks won a first round playoff series in maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? And they threw confetti from the ceiling. Okay, it was a first round series.
Yeah. Well, that's like winning a championship in New York these days. So moving on
to championships.
Speaking of championships, we are a week away from Super Bowl 53, the New England Patriots against the Los Angeles Rams.
Is it 53?
Yes, I believe so.
Or is it 54?
It's 53.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
You don't know.
I don't. I was just testing.
But before that, we had the real main event, the Pro Bowl today.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we'll skip that one.
Well, no. I do want to talk about the Pro Bowl for a little bit.
No, we don't.
I want to apologize. I owe you an apology.
Oh, thank you, man. It's not often my brother apologizes.
You and I have argued about Jason Garrett for a long time.
Yes.
And it's very obvious that he's the problem.
His
play calling during the Pro Bowl today was horrific. He lined up Alvin Kamara and Saquon Barkley at one point as defensive tackles. He had Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, and no quarterback on a play. I mean, what is the guy doing?
He clearly doesn't know what he's doing.
He clearly doesn't know what he's doing.
And if I was like the GM of the Saints and the Giants, I would go down there and beat Jason Garrett's ass for putting Kamara and Saquon Barkley on defense.
I mean, first of all,
seriously,
first of all, if you're the Cowboys, do you not give Ezekiel Elliott an extra $500,000 to not go down to Hawaii? That guy's your franchise, or pretty much your franchise. Do you, if you're the Giants, do you not give Saquon Barkley $500,000 to not even bother going to Hawaii? Claim he's got a sprained toenail or something. You don't want those. I mean, those guys are your franchise. No, I don't want those guys out there. I don't give a shit if it's I don't care if it's two-hand touch. I don't want them running around. Plus, it was raining today. They could have slipped. No.
Yeah, but I mean, the NFL wouldn't allow for that.
The NFL ain't gotta know.
There's no way the NFL would.
I mean, if you got a busted toenail, you got a busted toenail. Have you ever tried to play with a sprained eyebrow?
Oh, plenty of times.
Well, that's because you're different. I'm telling you, man, it's almost an impossible task.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean,
on to the real deal, Holyfield.
Ooh.
The Patriots and the Rams. I can't wait. I am excited. One of the things that struck me about this game is the difference in age, right, in the quarterback and coach relationship. You've got McVay and Goff, who are young, only have about 2 years in the league, right? And then on the other side, you've got Brady and Belichick, who have been in the league for a long time and have been together for a long time.
Yeah.
It just shows that everyone in the middle sucks.
Out with the old, in with the new? Is that what it's going to be?
Either that or big advantage for the Patriots, I think. They've been through this ringer several times, right? They've been through Super Bowl week and all that jazz. They know how to prepare for this game. They, and is there a, I said this before the Kansas City game, is there a better coach to deal with a young quarterback? Now, the difference here is the Rams can run the ball. If Gurley's healthy, he's a beast. C.J. Anderson has been a beast over the last 2 or 3 weeks. That's a big issue for the Patriots. If they can't stop the run, they've got a real problem, young quarterback or not. And that's where I think the game really turns, in my opinion.
Yeah, if Sean McVay is thinking about splitting carries between Gurley and C.J. Anderson for the Super Bowl, they're going to lose the game.
You think so?
Yeah, you have to have Gurley out there. He's your best playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
MVP last year? Who won MVP last year?
I don't know.
I forgot. But
he was a candidate.
Right. He could have won it, right? I mean, he had a great...
Could win it. If it wasn't for the performances that Mahomes and Breeze put up this year, he could win it this year, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, this guy is...
damn good.
Marshall Faulk 2.0.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, you have to have Todd Gurley in there and make the Patriots...
respect the run.
Yes, absolutely. And the screen passes, the flats and all that stuff. So if he's not there 80% of the time, if you're having to split carries, then you're just overthinking it. And that's where young versus old coaching is a
Mike,
big gap.
I don't think Sean McVay is going to overthink it. I think if we don't see Gurley on the field for 80% of the snaps, like you said and you suggest, and I agree with you, I think it's a health issue. His knee has not recovered from whatever the problem is, or his ankle or whatever. Last I heard it was a knee, but I mean, no one's for sure what it is.
Right.
I think that's really one of the biggest keys to this game is how healthy is he? Because if he's not healthy and he's got to split the carries, I think if they can't run the ball, they're in for a long day. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I don't. Even if he's a little hurt, you still got to put him out there. You still have to put him out there. You have to make the defense
respect the run
game plan for the other team's best player.
Let's go to the other side of the ball. The Patriots don't have, to me, the most electrifying offense that I've ever seen.
Mm.
They're good, but they're not Randy Moss good, right?
Right.
They had him. But the Rams don't have the best secondary. However, the two guys in the middle can really change the dynamic of that game, change the dynamic of that offense.
Yeah.
And that's Arnold and Sue. That's going to be, those guys have to be either the Patriots have to find a way to neutralize those guys, or those guys have to absolutely blow up that offensive line, or we're going to have a blowout one way or the other.
Well, the Rams paid for this defense. They paid to have the best defense. So, and you can say the defense has gotten them this far, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at their defense, hardly any of these guys were on this team.
Yeah.
You know, so if the Rams win, it'll be because of this defense.
My concern with the Rams is that secondary. I don't think it's that good. I mean, Peters is a problem, and Talib isn't the same Talib he used to be when he was at Denver.
Yeah,
it's going to be an issue if they can neutralize or at least slow down Arnold and Sue. That secondary is ripe for the picking.
Yeah, well,
when you've got Brady at the controls, yikes.
Well, I think it'll be a good chess match between what Wade Phillips throws out there and what Josh McDaniels throws out there for the Patriots. I mean, that's the thing about the Patriots, man. They just have such a, kind of like the Saints. They have an open playbook. I mean, they can go down the field and they can go slants. They can do so much. It just presents a problem for even a good defense.
I think it's important for the Patriots to establish the run as well, in order to. That will help neutralize, I think, Arnold and Sue.
No.
Because if they can just pin their ears back and come. Because look, at the end of the day, the most important factor when you're watching this game is how dirty is Tom Brady. If his uniform looks like it just came off the rack, then you know the Patriots scored 38, 45 points, and the Rams couldn't keep up. I mean, it'd just be that simple. They got to get pressure on them. They can't let them sit back there and just pick you apart.
I agree. It's a whole lot easier said than done.
Yes, this is true. So, with all of that being said, go ahead and give us your prediction.
I have no freaking clue. There's really just one question that answers that question. Do you think Tom Brady and the Patriots and Bill Belichick are going to lose consecutive Super Bowls in consecutive years? That's really the only question.
That's got nothing to do with anything.
I don't think they lose 2 in a row. So I'm going to say the Patriots. I mean, there's no way they lose this game. It's hard for me to. I picked against them so many times during the playoffs, during the season. But I just don't see them losing 2 Super Bowls in a row.
That is the silliest reason to pick the Patriots, but you are correct.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Why?
Because it's got nothing to do with this game. What happened last year happened last year. This game is played this coming Sunday, and it's got nothing to do with what the Eagles did to them last year.
Right, but this is the most important game of their season.
Right, but what happened last year is irrelevant.
No, it's irrelevant for the Patriots.
Right, and it's irrelevant to the Rams.
Right, it is. But if you have a Hall of Fame coach and you have the same Hall of Fame coach and the same Hall of Fame quarterback that you had last year. Right. You got him this year.
But my point is, what you're doing by saying that is you're playing the odds, right? You're saying odds are that a Hall of Fame coach and quarterback are not going to get snuffed 2 years in a row. And what I'm saying is, I'm thinking about the X's and O's of this game. And what I'm telling you is, I think the Patriots blow them out. And I'll tell you why. I think they will find a way to neutralize Arnold and Sue. I think they will find, and I don't think Gurley's 100%. I think the Rams will not be able to run the ball and will struggle on offense. And unless there's a barrage of turnovers somewhere, I think the Patriots win this and win it easily.
I hope they don't win it easily. I want to see a good Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, no. At the end of the day, unless it's my team, I'm always rooting for a close Super Bowl.
But Yeah, I just don't. I don't see Mr. X's and O's losing 2 consecutive Super Bowls in consecutive years. There's just no way. So, you know.
Yeah, it's
hard for me to imagine that.
Well, look, he got outcoached last year. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. He got outcoached. I
don't think he did.
He got outcoached with the Philly special. He got outcoached by trying to run his own version of the Philly special, right? He overthought it last year. I think this year, I know this is going to sound terrible, but I think this year he's going to have more respect for the Rams, only in the sense that I think he's concerned about their running game. I think he's concerned about those 2 guys in the middle, and he's going to game plan to beat that team as opposed to trying to figure out some new wrinkle to add. And I think that's where he went wrong last year. And Belichick has done this before. There have been times where he has overthought things, and he's so damn smart that he just thought about it too much, tried to throw some wrinkle in, and fucked it up. And I think that's part of what happened last year. Give the Eagles all the credit because Peterson did a wonderful job. But I don't think he's going to make that mistake again. I don't think he's going to do that again. I think he very much respects the Rams' running game. He very much respects that front line that the Rams have. And I think it will cause him to focus on coaching this game and not adding some funky little wrinkle.
Could be.
Just one man's opinion.
Could be. Who wins MVP?
However right I may be. Don't they always give it to the quarterback?
No, not always.
I mean, don't they almost always give it to the quarterback?
No. Cornerback has won it.
Who's won more? Who's won more? Out of the last 52, I'm sure half of them are quarterbacks.
Possibly.
Tom Brady's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, if you had to bet a significant amount of money, would you bet on anyone else? If you're convinced the Patriots are going to win, who would you bet on to win MVP?
I mean, yeah, probably Tom Brady.
Well, there you go.
I mean, there's always that.
Everyone else to me is like a 50-50 shot.
Yeah?
Tom Brady in the field, that's a bet. I think I'd still pick Tom Brady.
They got some good prop bets up.
Oh, I haven't perused the prop bets. Give me some good ones.
I don't know. I can't remember them. Is Tony Romo going to hint where Bryce Harper's going to go?
Oh my God. We are 2 weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting, and these 2 fools haven't figured out where they're going yet.
Did you see, though, Bryce Harper said maybe Tony Romo, because Tony Romo was calling like every play before it happened.
Tony Romodastris?
Yeah. And so Bryce Harper tweeted at him and said, maybe Tony Romo can tell you where I'm going. I think he's going to drop a hint.
He might. I mean, who knows?
That should be a prop bet.
Yeah. I'm amazed that those 2 guys are still hanging around. And I mean, and not only do we not know where they're going, we haven't even really gotten a whole lot of info about this, that, or the other thing, or offers, or nothing. It's been quiet. This is the quietest offseason with such big names I've ever seen in my life.
This has to favor the Yankees, right? Because it seems like they're being lowballed to what was expected for them to make.
Yeah.
Seems like the Yankees are like just waiting to make an offer to
training?
No, they're just waiting to make an offer to them.
Come in and steal them both?
I don't think both, but definitely I think Harper more than Machado.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I think as well. I think they have more interest in Harper than Machado.
Yeah.
But, I'm amazed.
Who knows? I'm pretty sure once the Super Bowl is over, we'll start hearing maybe a week after where they're going.
A week after pitchers and catchers report?
Well, they're not pitchers or catchers. They're third baseman outfielder.
I understand that, but it is incredible. It's incredible to me that at this point we still don't... I mean, these things are usually wrapped up by Christmas.
Yeah, but these guys don't need spring training. I mean, they're the best players on the planet.
I mean, I'm not saying that they... I'm not saying that because they need spring training. I'm just amazed that it's taken this long. I want to know!
I like it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I don't mind it.
Well, give us something to talk about when we do next week's episode of the Positive Sports Podcast.
Number 61.
That's right, number 60 today. You got a famous number 60?
Nope. This episode, damn it. Go check it out on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, and Google Play. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down, too. Let us know how you feel.
Yeah. Seriously.
Right?
Yeah, and if you want, you can even let us know by emailing the show. Email the show at positivesports10@gmail.com. Positivesports10@gmail.com. You can let me know personally on Twitter at eMontana21. You can let this guy know where.
Try on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho 1.
Ah, he's moved up to 1.
You could try Brooklyn Gaucho 8.
Or just Brooklyn Gaucho.
Or just Brooklyn Gaucho. Just try them all. Write these down. Go ahead. I'll give you a second. Write these down.
Just hit every Brooklyn Gaucho you can think of.
I am going to trademark Brooklyn Gaucho one day.
At this point, you should.
I really should. And I'm seriously considering it.
Yeah. Do it.
Damn it.
Do it. Okay, so neither one of us have a famous number 60. Oh well, sorry, famous number 60s out there. I'm trying to think of a football lineman, right? Because that's what.
How many football linemen?
What other 60s would there be? I guess in hockey the big numbers have become popular.
What about? No, I don't think he was number 60. I don't think he was. I was gonna say Nate Newton.
No, he was 63 or 62.
Damn. Okay.
Close.
I don't think he was.
Close.
Right.
Save that for the next.
Yeah.
You got a shout out?
My shout out goes to Keith One-Time Thurman. 29 fights. No. I fucked that one up. 29 fights, 29 wins, 22 by knockouts. He defeated Luis Esposito last night. If you caught him on prime time, it came on during what? What's so funny? His name?
It was Josecito Lopez. Not Esposito. I'm like, Josecito, that wasn't a hit.
Why the hell didn't they just name him Jose? Give him a damn man's name.
Well, my guess is his name is Jose. They just call him Josecito.
Well, Josecito didn't fight too bad. But,
no, that was a good
But
fight.
Thurman, after a 2-year layoff, his last win...
Almost 2 years.
22 months. His last win came against Danny Garcia at the Barclays Center on a Saturday night. And, he was dominating the first 4 rounds. And then Josecito, showed a little bit of fight. Really put Thurman on the ropes. I've never seen him, wobbly like that. And then that kind of happened for the 7th and 8th round. And then Thurman really bounced back and... showed why he's the champion and number 1 in that division. So shout out to Keith Thurman.
And the best thing about that, his hand and his shoulder were fine after the fight. So because that's been his problem, has been injuries. So yeah, that last round got a little dicey because Josecito really pushed the pace. He was looking to, he knew he was behind and
he needed the knock out.
Yes, he pushed it pretty hard, and it was a good fight.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I enjoyed it. My shout out goes to Naomi Osaka and Novak Djokovic, the winners night before last and last night, or I guess yesterday morning and this morning, of the Australian Open in tennis. Especially Novak Djokovic, man. That guy just beat the brakes off of Nadal. Had Nadal looking like...
Straight sets?
Straight sets. Beat him in I think it was like 2 hours and 4 minutes. 6-3, 6-2, 6-3. I mean, just beat him like an ugly first rounder. The guy he played incredible tennis throughout. He only dropped 2 sets throughout the tournament. Nadal hadn't dropped a set until the final. So Nadal was playing well. I was jacked up and up at 2:40 this morning to watch it, and it ended up being a bit of a dud because Novak just was painting lines and really running Nadal ragged. Played an incredible tennis match, an incredible tournament. He is your new number 1. He's won the last 3 Grand Slam tournaments. So I think if he wins the French, he will have the
Grand Slam.
He will be the Grand Slam. He'll be a champion of all 4 Grand Slams at the same time, which doesn't happen very often. Really a fantastic performance. And then Osaka. Remember, for those of you that name sounds familiar, she was the young lady that beat Serena Williams in the final of the U.S. Open back in September of last year. And no one remembers it because everyone remembers Serena
Right.
getting points deducted and her tirade with the referee, with the chair umpire, and all that stuff. And then even after the match, when it was all over during the awards ceremony, people were booing because they wanted to see Serena win. And this poor young lady was standing there with her hat pulled down over her eyes, crying, which I thought was an embarrassment. But whatever. She turned in a great tournament. She played well throughout. She took the first set Saturday morning and then struggled a bit in the second set, had a couple of championship points and lost them, and then came back in the third set and really put it on Kvitova, I believe it was her name. A really good tennis match. So hats off to both of them. Your first Grand Slam champions of 2019, the Australian Open. And with that, I guess we're done for today, huh, buddy?
Unfortunately, I can't wait till next week's episode though.
You may not have to wait till next week. We may do one during the week. We got a guest coming on.
Sweet.
We may do with this guest. I don't know if we'll do sports or if we'll just have some fun. I think she's likely to not give a shit about sports, so maybe we'll just have fun.
Sweet.
Either way, we're going to have fun talking to you guys. Like I said, as always, reach out to us via email or Twitter. Check out the podcast, the Positive Sports Podcast, on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, whatever platform you choose. Comment, like, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. And with that, we've come to the end of another wonderful episode. As always, folks, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.